don't we all remember that sound? Well, the Library of Congress announced today that is one of the pieces of media it is going to add to the National Recording Registry. That is obviously the Microsoft Windows reboot chime, which was actually composed by musician Brian Eno.
The registry encompasses a wide spread of music, sports, and spoken word recordings, from Sweet Georgia Brown, which you may think of as the Harlem Globetrotters whistle, to folk music the Japanese Americans performed in Hawaii, to Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, even music from the game Minecraft. So this list of 25 recordings represents the broadness of the American experience, and this year even includes a comedian who loved to make fun of all of them.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Warmth himself, Don Rickles.
Nice to see you in a red shirt, right in the front. That's class. I never entertained a Mountie. $40 million Americans, I gotta get a dummy Mountie right here in the front. Hello, dummy. Yeah. And he waved to me yet. I said, hello, dummy, and he went, no, he knows me, I'm a Mountie.
That is the opening of Don Rickles' album, Hello, Dummy, and it's about the last joke we can play without getting an FCC fine. What follows, though, is 35 minutes of joke-a-second takedowns of every race and gender.
At the peak of his career, Rickles could unleash a torrent of jokes, a barrage of insults that was truly remarkable for the novel ways he could make fun of a person in one breath. But comedy was just one of his skills, as Rob Caldwell found out when he sat down with him before the Maine Lobster Festival in Rockland in 2005.
I want to talk about something that I know you take pride in. You're a graduate of the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and are a talented, serious actor who really doesn't get much of an opportunity to showcase his acting ability.
You've been talking to De Niro? Did you ever meet Robert De Niro?
No.
It's like being alone.
Charming, outgoing guy?
Great actor, but socially, even in the movie, go, roll him. Where's the gun? I'm like a moron, I'm doing this in the whole movie. If you watch me in Casino, looks like I got a bad ear. The man mumbles. Gets $40 million and he mumbles. I can't figure it out. But he's a great actor. But I went to the American Academy with Jason Robards, rest his soul, and Grace Kelly, she's gone, rest her, and Ann Bancroft, who we just lost. I went with some good people, and Tom Poston, who's still with us, and they were amazed that I graduated the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. The Academy is still in shock.
How was your class rank?
Well, I was the guy that ate up all the scenery, but they always said, but you never had to say with Rickles, pick it up. I always had that kind of an energy where they always had to say, take it easy. But that was a good quality. But the Academy gave me a great deal of experience. And then I did a couple of off-Broadway things and got a chance. Ernest Borgnine and I did The Odd Couple in San Diego for a couple of, that was a great treat.
You played Felix Unger in The Odd Couple.
Oh, you really read about me? Yeah. I played the quiet guy, and we did well. Ernie was great, and it was a lot of fun, you know. And I kept telling Ernie he was great because Ernie was, in those days, he was eating pasta with his hands, you know. He was like an animal, that had to be nice. You know? Says Ernie, he was a fork.
You got him to clean up the act a little bit.
No, he's a great guy, Ernie. He's still with us. He's great.
More recently, you've gotten a nice boost from the Toy Story movies.
Yeah, that's made me famous. My grandchildren, Pop-Up. That's Pop-Up, you know. And, you know, Mr. Potato Head. Worked 50 years in the business to wind up a doll.
I'm a married spud, I'm a married spud, I'm a married spud. Make room for the single fellas.
50 years in the business, and all I got from 2 grandchildren is, there's Pop-Up.
He wasn't for everybody. He had a very different style.
Right.
But if you were into it, you got a lot of laughs. Don Rickles talking with Rob Caldwell 20 years ago. Wow. Was that conversation.
Yeah. And everybody will remember Mr. Potato Head. If you didn't like the
other
other
comedy, I didn't realize it was him, to be honest. Yeah, I
had to look it up once.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you can imagine, my jaw hit the floor when I found it was
that guy.
Don Rickles. All right.